Welcome to the Brewtiful Game. As always, I am Blake here with Ferris.
Hola.
And all the way back from all over the world in the studio, we got Ron.
What's happening?
Yeah.
The jet lag edition.
The only episode this month that he's here.
Hey, you know what, though?
Pretty much.
Or within a month, I should say. Not this month.
You know what, though?
What's that?
I have a beer to celebrate that.
You do? Straight to the beer?
Straight to the beer.
Oh, man. All right.
I'm not even going to mince words with the name.
Does that mean it's one of those names you can't pronounce? Or
Well, that's usually true when I say that.
it was a Pulisic Pilsner?
Hey, we're off to a good start. We have a beer called Captain Ron. In honor of Ron being back from his world extravagant travels. It's he didn't sail the high seas, but he did fly the high
seas,
clouds, high skies.
Not the Mile High Club. That's a different
no. But it does.
To be fair, he doesn't know that.
And actually, it does say on the top of the can, drink beer, get booty. So hey, who the hell knows? But this is a local beer, of course, from 26 Brewing, 26 Degree Brewing. I'm trying to look at the site now. They're based out of South Florida, I believe, Pompano Beach. But I'm saying that as I'm trying to read. I didn't do a whole lot of research on this. Sorry.
They Pompano Beach, is that what you said?
Yeah, I believe so. They have a couple of normal ones. This is one of their normal ones. They have a Scottish Nest Monster, Tri-County Common, IPA 1A, Zico's Rage, and then they have a couple of limited releases.
Well, what's a Captain Ron?
You're absolutely right. I just went straight to get to the booty, and here we are. It is a wheat beer, 5.6 ABV, so
awesome,
nice and enjoyable. They were established in 2014, so still a fairly new brewery, but they are out of Pompano Beach. So it's a Hefeweizen. And it would only be right to give Ron the first beer.
Of Captain Ron.
Captain Ron. That doesn't look anything like Ron, but I just walked around the corner and saw Captain Ron. I'm like, oh, he's actually back on the pod this week. So
it's close, except for the beard and mustache. Other than that, it's got the hat and the sunglasses.
It looks exactly correct. Ooh, look at that.
Pub crawling, pool hanging, beach bumming, bike riding, and enjoying the finer things in life.
That was the other reason why I got it, because what did you just get this week?
I got my motorcycle.
Exactly.
I did. It says this Hefeweizen is a fun, dry drinking beer with a refreshing flavor and a smooth finish that make it popular with craft beer pirates everywhere.
You left out a sentence.
I did.
Pub crawling, pool hanging, beach bumming, bike riding, and enjoying the finer things in life. That is what Captain Ron stands for.
I thought I said that.
Captain Ron stands for. You left out that's what Captain Ron stands for.
Oh, sorry.
Which in my head, I picture Ron Swanson as a pirate.
Bring me all the bacon and eggs you have.
Have you ever had a turkey burger? Son, if by turkey burger you mean a turkey leg wrapped in beef and deep fried with bacon, yes.
What is his jazz name?
Duke Silver?
Duke Silver.
It's awesome. One of the greatest TV shows ever.
It is great. Yeah, so 26 Brewing Company based out of Pompano Beach. Our mission from the very beginning has been to brew world-class, craftsman-inspired beers that are rich in artisan traditions while celebrating life and love in South Florida.
And I love the art. I love that's like a trend that has gone on of like doing the really cool can art.
Yeah.
Like the 21st Amendment Brewery people do, and this 26 Brewing Company, or 26 Degree Brewing. It's awesome looking.
And they have something cool, and I'm trying to figure out it's a counter. Looks like a clock counter that goes day, year, days, whatever. Has one batch, 30 barrels, 930 gallons, 7,440 pints. As a home brewer, one batch was 10 gallons. Inside the garage, in a sibling's backyard, in the kitchen, and even in a barn, our home brews were produced just about everywhere. The homebrew career saw about 100 batches in 4 years, totaling 1,000 gallons of beer during that time. With our 300 BBL system at 26 Degrees Brewing, our very first batch produced 930 gallons. So staying true to hardworking homebrewing roots, we scaled up these 100-gallon recipes and now present them to you from our state-of-the-art 30-gallon brew house.
Nice.
Kind of cool.
That's cool.
And their site's really sleek. They have videos on here, virtual tour if you want. Just a cool looking site. It's www.26brewing.com.
That's one thing we need to do. We need to go do some brew tours.
Yeah, especially
a couple brewery tours.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many good ones nearby. All right. Well, I got my Brewtiful Game koozie.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in here as well.
All right. Ooh, that's a smelling good Hefeweizen. Hefeweizen.
It's better when you say it that way.
You're right. That's why I say it that way.
All right. Ooh, Ron's pouring one in the glass so we get a little color.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to really try to sniff it. I've got some kind of allergy situation that's really fighting me right now. I apologize for sounding like Jabba the Hutt or something. I don't know. I feel very lower as I hear myself in the earphones than I normally talk.
It's a good color. Light.
Yep. Classic Hefeweizen, light straw.
Yeah.
All right.
Good. What's this?
Good head retention.
That's right. Good old head retention.
That'd be the name of our Hefeweizen.
Good old head retention.
Good old.
That's the name of our punk band.
Yeah. Good old head retention. We are head retention. We do the theme songs for Mrs. Miggins' Pie Shop.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
The opening credit song.
They're all punk tunes.
Yep.
That's so great.
That's
like English punk.
Yeah, but that's for that one.
Yeah, we're
She says we do the following ones like the Spanish Mafia, then that changes. We got
Right.
All right, gents, here we go. Cheers. Let's try this Captain Ron Hefeweizen from 26 Degree Brewing. That's gonna go down easy.
Has to go down real. I do have a 6-pack, so we do have another one.
Perfect.
That's a good Hefeweizen, nice and estery.
Yeah, a little spice to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There at the end, yeah.
I like
Really
it.
smooth up front. Good finish.
And I just had a really good wit beer before this, so this is good. I was worried I'd ruined it, but this is tasty.
Well chosen.
All right, man.
In your honor.
Now, before we get rolling into the football, just as a reminder, we got a couple episodes here that'll be back to back fairly quick because it's the final Premier League weekend this coming Sunday.
I'm gonna miss it so much.
I know, but luckily Ron got
you're
his
gonna
schedule
miss it.
changed,
Sorry.
so he'll be here. We're gonna get a bunch of pies. We're gonna get some beers. And we're gonna watch the final premiere, which starts off at 10 a.m.
That's gonna be a long day for us.
And then we will record a wrap up Premier League in honor. This will be our third one, gents, since the show has started.
Wow.
Our first episode ever was a Premier League
wrap-up.
last day wrap up.
Yeah.
You ain't lying.
So I got to go get us a pie order in from the Proper Pie Company in Davenport, Florida.
Not Mrs. Miggins' Pie Shop. 'Cause
And
that's made up.
well, I got to go talk to the owner.
That's
made up.
TBD still.
gotta go-
We're still working on a lot of the red tape there, but you know.
I'm excited to go visit the owner and ask him which Tottenham matches he went to this year. He always goes to at least one.
He's a Spurs fan.
Yeah, he
I'd be
always goes
curious
back
on
to
that.
one. So that'll be the next pod as we are close to wrapping up the Premier League. And then we can get wrapped up in the Premier League vortex when we should be talking about other things.
Well, and then
like our
MLS.
What are we
World
doing?
Cup.
Well, what are we doing that same day though?
Oh, next Sunday. Well, it's
Right after we
yeah,
record.
this Sunday. Yeah, we will record, and then we're going to see Orlando at home against Atlanta.
Yep.
Atlanta on
It's gonna be a good one.
8-game streak.
It'll be 9 tonight if they win.
9 to 9.
They're
if they
on
win.
a current 8, and
Yeah.
I believe that says that.
And
on the
they're
content.
top of the league right now. The entire league, not just the
because
East.
New York.
Yeah, but we do
Out of
have
point
Yeah,
difference
I am kind of
and-
glad they're playing tonight. Maybe a little bit tired. They're playing Sporting KC, right?
Yeah,
Tonight?
right now.
Yeah,
they're at half.
What was the score you said?
0-0.
0-0.
One
Get them
second.
nice and tired for Sunday.
So that'll so this Sunday is it's a big day for us for our Premier League wrap up. I'm excited to get that one done.
55th minute, 0-0 against Sporting KC.
Live updates there on the Brewtiful Game.
Yeah, live updates that you'll hear later.
Right, there you'll hear in a week.
But next week, the goal will be once we get the Premier League episode recorded, we'll get that one spit out pretty quick following the actual last Premier League game.
You serious, Cliff?
Excuse me, that Premier League game will end. We'll chat about it, and then we will throw that episode up.
We'll
pretty quick.
chat about it on
Yeah.
while we're hitting record.
That is how recording works. Yes, you're right.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
I'm glad you pieced that one together for them.
Well, I'm trying to get the. I'm
glad
to get
here on episode
the Pride
88
game on right now.
You figured out that we hit record and that's how it happens.
Because despite the MLS going on tonight, there are a couple of NWSL games, and the Pride being one of them. So I'm going to turn that on while we record.
While we chat some football.
Yeah.
So
Some soccer.
So we've got a lot of matches that just happen because we got team clubs that are trying to make up missed games from tournaments and what have you, from FA Cups to Champions League to Europa League. So there actually was our match week 30. No, well,
6-ish.
Well, 37.
Well, that's what I said. For this was 36.
Yes.
37-ish kind of happened today, but there was some teams at 36 that were already at 37. So it's 36-ish. The midweek games that we're currently in right now that aren't on here, but we'll talk about, that's 37. And then Sunday is when we all kind of add, like everybody catches back up and we end on 38.
Boy, that's clear as mud.
You're telling me there, Clark.
Clear as mud. So let's roll into some of these. So from match week 36, the big one was right out the gate. Brighton Hove Albion 1-0 over Manchester United, securing their safety in the Premier League.
Seagulls sail to safety.
Yep.
That was pretty good. It was a good match the whole time.
I didn't get a chance to see it, but I did get the alert just basically saying that they beat United. I'm a fan of. That should be no surprise to anybody. But I couldn't have been happier because the win kept Brighton up. They sailed to safety because of this. We're not going anywhere, so I don't care, and I'm glad they stayed up because I enjoyed watching them.
We had a Facebook comment.
Oh yeah,
on the Brewtiful Game. That what did you think of that? That this is proof that Mourinho really analyzes a top flight team over the week before playing them, but the lower teams he just doesn't even worry about.
Yeah, well, and I think it came off the back of Simon had posted that, but that came off the back of the stat that was, and correct me if I'm wrong, it was United are the only team to have lost to every promoted club this year.
Yes,
correct.
Right. And I was asked, how do I feel about that? And I said, cool, sweet. That's, I mean, we still had a good year. We beat a lot of we beat Man City this year. We beat Tottenham this year. Chelsea, we still beat a lot of the top 4 and top 6. You lose to the bottom 3, or not the bottom 3, but the 3 newly promoted clubs, which we're going to talk about and whether or not they stay up or not this year. I'm fine with that, though. I am, because you could say that those are points lost to get closer to City. Most years, that's probably true. This year, nobody was catching them. So, right, well, what did it matter?
And we get to keep the sexiest looking stadium in Premier League.
The Amex.
Hove Albion. I love that.
Beautiful, yeah. But it also keeps, or for me, it's Mourinho game plans, and going back to Simon's comment, yes, he game plans and he strategizes for the big games and the big teams, and I think he kind of takes his foot off the pedal a little bit, just assuming that the talent out there is but just that the talent out there is going to take care of it, and he doesn't have to plan and set up his team quite as good. I mean, do we know what's going on in his mind? No, but that's the way that it seems when you watch these games, and we beat the top 6 teams and we lose to the newly bumped up teams.
It's still a lot of points dropped.
Yeah, 9 points if we lost to them all once. Again, I don't think it would have mattered this year because City right now are like 100 and something. And
they're not yet.
No, goals. Goals they're at 104.
They're up there.
For points, aren't they at 97?
After today?
Yeah.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they got to win the last one
okay.
to do 100, I do believe.
Okay, sorry.
Double check that for me if you want to look at the
I'm
table.
going for it right now.
God bless you.
But yeah, that's kind of all it for there, I believe, really to talk about. Next match, Stoke City, Crystal Palace. Oof.
97 points currently.
97 points.
104 goals scored.
There we go.
Which means
that's right.
Which means they have the points.
They got the record for the number of goals. Yeah.
They have the goals record and they have the wins.
Which they gained today, right? That was because they gained today, yeah.
Correct.
So we got Stoke, Crystal Palace. Stoke at home, Crystal Palace away. Nets in 2 over Stoke, making sure they go down and Crystal Palace stays up.
It cannot be understated the job that Roy Hodgson has done since coming into Palace.
Yeah.
They did not score a goal until October.
He did what needed to be done.
And he had kept them up. And not just kept them up, they're in 11th at the current time on 41 points. This win brought them to above that magical 40-point mark where you stay safe. The job he did with Palace, he got the most out of Zaha. He got the most out of Van Arnholt, MacArthur, both of which had goals in this. And his captain, Milivojevic, he got the most out of them. He got them playing.
Milivojevic from Fifth Element
and
Multipass. Colbandalas.
Resident Evil's 17s.
Colbandalas, the one and only winner of the Gemini Croquet Contest. Gemini. I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Negative. I am a meat popsicle.
Give me the cash. That's our other podcast, Fifth Element. I can't think of a clever
Elements
name.
of Fifth Element.
No, it's called, the Power Podcast is called Zorg here. Freaking Gary Oldman is weird ass.
Only if we get the operatic arias in the background while we're doing it.
Gary Oldman, even though it's Mrs. Mickens' Pie Shop, plays, weirdly enough, the New Orleans gangster that tries to marries into the British mafia.
Amazing.
We need Gary Oldman screaming at somebody in this.
Everyone!
Oh, I love our Netflix shows.
Oh, but yeah, no, it really, I mean, what he's done and gotten the most out of that team, got him scoring goal, playing a little bit defense. They won the games they needed to win, and even some that they gave it everything they could against some of the big teams, and fantastic job. Unfortunately, this was the game that sent Stoke,
our Premier League cousins from Orlando City.
now our championship cousins.
Yep.
So, what do you think the odds are that Shaqiri's gone?
100%.
Yeah, I agree on that. I think
the fact, though, that what we probably didn't imagine was that Stoke would end the season below West Brom. And I guess still they could possibly win. But, like, it's just crazy to see Stoke at the bottom of the table. Because you just figured that would be West Brom. Granted, still could be, but...
Yeah, I think the day after the Premier League...
why not? Rebuild.
Shaqiri's got a bolt.
He's
the only bright spot.
Did you watch the game, though? Like, the passion, the just heartbreak on the...
Jack Butland.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And big, I mean... The team, when you look at it on paper, is one of the worst teams in the Premier League. You have a 36-year-old striker, that journeyman of the league, and big Peter
78 years
like
old,
their
Peter
leading
Crouch.
goal scorer. Yeah, I mean he's a great player, and will go down as a very, very good to great player in the Premier League. But he shouldn't be the one scoring your goals in the top flight in England.
Yeah,
at 36,
and he was mad in this match. Man, how many fouls! I've never seen him commit so many fouls.
He didn't want to go down. I mean, you got to give it to. I mean, the guy plays with passion, but unfortunately, the whole team didn't do that.
You know, in those movies when you see in those comedies when you see somebody who's frustrated and they just reach out and trip somebody else because they're so frustrated. Crouch did that twice in this match, completely off the ball, way against the play. Just reaches out and trips somebody. Oh, so great! It made me laugh so much.
I'm just going to miss Jack Butland being in the Premier League because that's a fun name.
That's a good solid name. And 2017 FIFA goalie game player of the year. That man at like rating 82 on last year's FIFA was a beast. No goals ever went by him. He's good.
He is good,
but he's going to play in the championship.
Do you think
he stays? Yeah,
I think he's going to get yanked.
Guys, you're looking at Arsenal's next goalkeeper,
or Chelsea's next goalkeeper after Caballero's complete screw up of today.
I almost wonder. I'm not. We're Shaqiri. I think we're all. Yeah, he's gone. I don't know about Butland. I think it would take a team coming in for him.
He'd have to feel like Stoke is set up, I think, to try to fight to come back, like Newcastle was.
Can they do that? Under Paul, who's their manager now? Is it Paul Clement? That's not Paul Clement.
Oh, for Stoke?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Top of my head.
He came in after Hughes, but I don't know. Yeah.
I'm sure he's gone too, unless that's who they're planning on.
Well, I mean, who are you going to bring in, though?
Paul Lambert.
I knew it was a Paul somebody. Samsonite. Way off. I mean, Paul Lambert is used to being in the championship in the Premier League, so I don't think he goes anywhere. I don't think he did a terrible job. He had a little bit of a bounce, but it just wasn't enough to get him up above the line before time ran out.
Nobody, did you guys see, like, Twitter? Nobody was heartbroken about Stoke. I feel like I'm missing out on something about being an American. There's a lot of animosity in the Stoke situation, and it was brutal. Like, the people that were just trashing Stoke so hard, especially on a tweet from Crystal Palace's striker saying, I usually love to celebrate a goal, but I hate that it's the one that sent the team down.
Yeah.
And the comments that were underneath were brutal. Not to him, but about Stoke were just brutal. So I'm missing on something. Maybe, I don't know.
They were just
do a little research.
People like to pile on.
Yeah, but it felt different.
It was just, they're just such a bad team.
It wasn't happening to West Brom.
And they played a dire style of ball for a majority of the year. I mean, and they traditionally have played that way, but I mean, they've been in the Premier League now for what? Since 2006, I think. That sound about right?
Probably
10 years
in that area.
Yeah,
I mean, they've been in there a long time, and I just but they were always kind of sitting down there in the bottom, or they were in that mid table. But and I think ever since Tony Pulis left, it's just been downhill for them. That was what, last year he left. So it's
out of West Brom.
No, out of Stoke.
You said Tony Pulis.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Tony Pulis is West Brom.
He was, but he came from Stoke. He was their long-serving manager from 2006 to 2013.
Sorry. I misunderstood you, thinking you were saying that about this. I got
no.
Yeah.
So I mean, I thought it was last year. Oh my gosh, for 2018. No, for 7 years he was their manager, and I think ever since then it's been downhill for them.
Well, it didn't do West Brom any good to get rid of Tony Pulis either.
Yeah, I mean,
although I do kind of like that. I do like their coach. Speaking of teams in the bottom, moving on to at home Bournemouth, the Cherries hit the almost final death knell into Swansea's Premier League aspirations by winning 1-0 against Swansea, who, as you said, Swans dived down the table with a loss. All of a sudden, things were looking real frightening for them.
They've lost the last few games, and they just haven't been picking up points. And this is a tough loss for them, because this is one they probably down the stretch here are circling to get a win, and that, or at least a point. And neither of those happened. No,
not at all.
I mean, right now they're sitting at 18.
Oh, and they're done.
Yeah. Now, we got
to get there.
Their last game, though, they do have a favorable matchup, or one that you can look at and say it's favorable. They'll need some help, but they play Stoke City on Sunday.
They have to win, and they have to
score like 9 goals.
No, they have to score 15.
Yeah, it's impossible. They're done.
I don't think technically it's not impossible. But
no,
it would be very.
No, it's impossible.
You're right. Like, it was 9 goals. My bad.
Yeah,
9 goals.
Yeah,
they have to score 9 goals.
Hey, listen.
And Southampton has to lose.
Oh, fair enough.
Or if Southampton lose by 4 or 5 goals and then they score 4, like, so there's
some combination of 9 goals.
Some combo of that.
And Southampton has to lose.
They weren't helped because, I mean, we're kind of skipping ahead a little bit, but on the Tuesday game was a chance for Swansea to catch up and make it a little bit tighter, because Southampton and Swansea played.
Right.
And Southampton won that game.
Do you guys know who Southampton plays next?
Southampton plays.
You don't look it up. Guess.
Oh, just take a guess.
Yeah.
Is it like Man City?
I can't
it is
guess.
exactly.
I can't guess. I just looked it up. Yeah, it's Man City.
So that, I mean, the best they're going to get out of that is a draw,
which isn't undoable, but it's not going to help them any.
No, because Pep is going to want to, seal in that.
And it's a shame, because there's now no Welsh derby. Because Cardiff secured...
I mean, unless something weird happens.
Right, because right now we have the Wolverhampton
Well,
Wanderer?
No,
I mean, I don't.
Wolverhampton.
I got to say the Wolverines. That's not it.
Wolverhampton Wanderers.
And then
right.
we've got Cardiff.
Da.
And they made it in to promotion, and now it'll just be the playoff.
The playoffs consist of Fulham, Derby, Aston Villa,
I can't remember the fourth.
Norwich.
No, it's two other clubs. I forget the other two.
No,
Clubs.
there's only
Or three clubs.
There's only
That's
four
total.
Right, four total.
Did you
I
say
just named
four?
3. Yeah.
Who'd you name?
Villa, Fulham, Derby County. And I want to say it's Norwich, but I could be entirely wrong on that if somebody can look that up for me. But it's not impossible. I mean, certainly playing against City. If City puts 5 past them, and Swansea scores 4 and change, then yeah, I mean, you could see it. But yeah, looking very unlikely that the Swans almost
Middlesbrough, Derby County,
Middlesbrough.
Aston Villa, and
Way
Fulham.
Right, which means if Middlesbrough comes back, you know who comes back? Because he's their coach right now.
Middlesbrough?
Tony Pulis.
Oh, Tony Pulis. That's right. Mr. Pulis.
Yeah,
Yep. Where was I at? So that was the Cherries 1-0 over Swans, almost finishing them off, but that happened later. And then we move on to Leicester City at home against West Ham, and West Ham knocks around the Foxes for 2-0. And West Ham decides to have a good game.
Hey, they picked a good time to do it because guess what this game did?
Pushed him to 15.
It pushed them to 15 and 2 points away from that 40 mark. So, more importantly, yeah, it gave that bigger gap between them and Swansea and South. You know,
they better turn something around. They're in a lot of trouble. They're a mess. They're a mess of a club.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
there are bigger messes.
There are bigger messes, but
I agree.
And a lot of
they're bigger messes that you feel better about their chances of turning it around.
That's kind of
West Ham is just like they have everything to turn it around.
Who came in and kind of cleaned this mess up, and just as equally as Roy was brought into Palace, David Moyes is brought in to clean this up and keep them up.
right,
He's
and he's
done
doing it.
Yeah, he's done that.
Yeah, but West Ham isn't a club that stays up. It should be a club that's competing.
Should be, but now, I mean, if you're Moyes and the owners, you're thinking, okay, let's spend some more in the offseason. Let's make some moves. Let's shore up the defense, and let's move back up the table. And if they can get themselves into 8th or 7th next year, that's a solid year for them.
Top 8's gonna be real hard next year.
I think the top 10 is going to be real hard next year.
It's for reals. Oh, and it was Noble. They got the second goal for West Ham.
A bit cheeky headline.
I know the noble efforts these Hammers take a big leap to safety.
Dun, dun, dun. Made it sound so epic.
Yeah, there were no real good ones in this one because it was just a lot of people trying to stay up and
Just folks just trying to survive.
Yep.
Speaking of surviving, Watford at home against Newcastle win 2-1. So now they're above 40 points. Watford looked for a bit like they were the club that was going to fade away, but they
Yeah, Watford had a strong beginning of the season and then dove.
collapsed like a flan in a cupboard.
Does flan collapse?
Yeah, that's an Eddie Izzard joke.
But only in cupboards?
Yeah, like a flan in a cupboard.
early in cupboards.
But Newcastle, well, I mean, where were those guys sitting at right now as they are wrapping up, as they walk into the final? They're 10th right now.
Sorry. Just got a text from a friend of the pod, Brian, going to the Atlanta game in the 33rd minute. Atlanta red card. Guzan.
Uh-oh.
The Goozemeister.
That means he went in. That means he went in dangerous on a challenge.
Something, yeah.
But he's not against
good
us.
for us. Unless
That means he's out.
appeals it and wins it. But
He's out for the Orlando game.
Yup. Updates here.
Breaking, you see here.
Breaking news.
Really, I don't know what I'm going to say about that. Well, that Watford Newcastle game. That's kind of it.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, we were talking Watford Newcastle 2-1. Watford's got it. They're above 40 points.
So is Newcastle. Boom.
They're
Both
41.
up.
Yeah.
Yep. And Newcastle lose today to Man City.
Yep. Now,
But Newcastle were the first of the 3 promoted clubs to gain safety.
Right.
A game or two ahead of the others.
Now, this next match was the one that really made the weekend exciting, which was West Brom beating Tottenham 1-0.
This was a fun game to watch. Yeah.
Because it changed everything for the bottom of the table. At the time. It changed everything for the bottom of the table. And it wouldn't be until Tuesday till it was set. But Livermore Lifeline keeps the Baggies safe for the moment. And it did until Tuesday.
90+2.
Yeah.
He kind of fumbled it in against Tottenham.
Like their coach. So he did the interview with NBC Sports afterwards and for West Brom. Cool dude.
Gosh almighty. Darren Moore.
Yeah.
So I'll say Darren Clough, and that's not it. But Darren Moore, yeah. And he, I was listening to the Football Ramble podcast on the way, and he said he might be the first manager to win Manager of the Month, but get relegated in the same time at the same time. He almost, and this, at the time when this happened, it's like, oh my gosh, they may actually hang on. They may actually survive.
It was the most exciting thing that could,
because of the loss earlier by Stoke, which sent them down, and they needed to win in order just to stay alive, and they did that at the very end. A draw wouldn't have helped them. So it was a big win at home too, and then against Tottenham, who's still playing for their top 4 again at the time.
Right.
So I think he should win the. What would it be?
If he doesn't stay at West Brom, or he may
Manager of the Month, or April, I guess.
If he doesn't stay at West Brom, he might be getting some fun offers.
Go to Arsenal.
Yeah, if I'm West Brom, I'm trying to keep him.
Sure.
I'm trying to hang on to him, see what he can do. Because remember, you get to
build something off of this.
You get the parachute payment coming down. And their squad, compared to the championship, they got some good players there. So if you can hang on to some of them and then get some extra cash going down, and you keep Darren Moore, who seems like he gets the spirit into the players, you could bounce back.
Yeah, I think if they were to get a solid midfield, they would. Excuse me. Yeah. They could control games better than they do now.
And you thought they had that, but with Darren Fletcher in there, he's aging a bit. They had the PSG player, Kovacic or whatever.
Kovacic is just he's just off the pace. He always looks a step behind.
But he should be better. He's one of those that it should be better, but I just don't think. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he has looked off the pace a lot this year.
But this was a punch one of a 1-2 punch that made things exciting at the time. The second punch came from the Everton-Southampton game, because if Southampton won this game, it was over. West Brom was definitely relegated. Right. Southampton was safe. And instead,
Davies ruins the party.
Well, hold on, though.
Man, what a game.
For a vast majority of this game, we're talking 98% of this game, Southampton were up.
Oh, yeah.
Right. They led.
They were up from the 56th minute.
And then they got a red card in the 85th.
Oh, yeah, up, yeah. But... They got yes, and that was a red card. That was a solid red.
Looking better than
yellow red. Yeah.
And then in the 96th minute.
I think there was only supposed to be 94 played.
But they were wasting time. And so,
there was some stuff, and there was where to get the time from. And
well, there was also 4 different player cramps. And so.
That's time wasting.
That's right. You have to add that back on.
Yeah.
And then boom. Yep. Davies comes in, scores one of the 96, and breaks the hearts of.
Well, that didn't break the hearts of anybody, but it definitely helped the West Brom fans at the time, because if Southampton won, West Brom was automatically going down. But the draw kept them alive another few days.
Right. It kept it alive for a little bit more.
But it didn't automatically send down.
Right. It made a straight defeat of Southampton, though, would have been good for folks at the bottom, but that
didn't happen, yeah.
Speaking of keeping things at the bottom interesting again, the next match.
Ugh, amazing.
Manchester City, Huddersfield is screwed. They've got at this point in time, how many points would they have had? How many do they have right now?
Hold on.
They had 3 matches left.
37
points. Yeah.
They had 3 matches left and
36.
really stood the chance of getting into the bottom 3, because their next 3 matches were Manchester City, Chelsea,
which was today.
Who was their last game? Is that Arsenal? Yes.
It is Arsenal.
It's Arsenal.
Yes,
those are last 3 games. So their best hope for 3 points was Arsenal, let's be honest. But that was their, everybody said, you guys could be screwed real easy here.
Yep.
But they got to draw on this.
They go against Man City and talk about courage. That would only get eclipsed by one other game that I would see involving Huddersfield. But that was amazing. At Man City's home, they hold them 0-0. It was amazing.
The team in the Premier League that under pressure has shown two very distinct things. One, the most amount of heart and drive in the entire Premier League, and the best defensive shape under pressure out of all the clubs.
Do they keep their manager?
Well, I would say it would be
good.
them or Burnley. I'd probably give Burnley a slight edge because of where they finished, but
I don't. They don't play with such a well organized defense. Look at their game
low
today.
Scoring games against
but Sean Dyche has them playing because there were a couple of games where Huddersfield. But no, listen, they did a lot to not only draw this game, but to put themselves in a place where they give themselves a chance to stay up. And they did that all year through exactly what you're talking about.
And it comes down to, I think, one dude, their manager.
I was going to say Captain Kirk.
Patrick Stewart.
No,
Card, not Kirk.
Listen, I'm not the nerd fest over here.
Come on,
I'm
it's Patrick. It's Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, but everybody knows that.
You're the nerd.
Everybody knows that.
You be sure? Because I sure as hell didn't.
You know, their coach is
Who's Captain Kirk? Was that Shatner?
Yeah, it was Shatner.
Yeah,
and Chris Pine.
You live
I
under
guess.
a rock.
But their coach, he's great.
a tall rock, big rock.
I hope they can hold on to him because you feel like he's a guy that could get poached. But Huddersfield,
they're going to do everything to hold on to him.
But they
Would you want him at Arsenal?
But they get a point. No, not at this point. But they get a point, and now they still got 2 games left: Chelsea, and then Arsenal. They still need at least they need one more point to secure safety. We'll get back to that in a second. As we then move on to Arsenal versus Burnley for
the sending home of
Merci
Arsene.
I really kind of thought, I was like, well, I was going to say merci to Arsene, and Burnley's going to beat Arsenal and jump them in the table. I really thought that was going to happen.
Burnley didn't much care this game because what we were talking about in the last pod.
Officially part of the Europa League.
Officially part of Europe. And that's huge for Turf Moor. Yeah.
That's so great. It's good to see Burnley succeeding.
Yeah.
But Arsenal, very quickly starts piling on the points. I think my favorite goal might have been Kolasinak's.
That was a belter.
That was
awesome.
But they win
drive
5-0.
Well,
Aubameyang and Lacazette.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Great combo.
Why haven't? Yes.
Why hasn't it been happening?
Yes.
The entire
the
season.
biggest
Speed, pace,
reason-
class. You have everything.
They were idiots and didn't sign Aubameyang 2 at the beginning of the year and waited till January.
Right.
But they probably wouldn't have gotten Lacazette
The
too.
second you had him, the two of them, you should have been playing them up top
Put them
together.
up top.
You
and
find a way to get them in
You know what you do?
together, yes.
You put them both up top and you go Sanchez who? Because the opportunities come with the two of them up there.
And it's not that they haven't played together. It's just that they haven't really started the game and kept them in for the
which
vast
means
majority of the game.
the other problem with that is that he never gave them consistency. And these two types of strikers, Lacazette and Aubameyang, they thrive off the consistency, week to week, feeling the game, getting in a groove, getting in a rhythm, and figuring it out. That didn't happen very much. You had so many, very similar to Chelsea. You had so many player changes
Let's
week
keep
to
giving
week.
Iwobi a chance, even though he did score this game. But
So when these guys can actually get together, beautiful things happen. So it's a shame that this didn't get to happen earlier in the season and more consistently.
forget the 5-0 scoreline. Really, the highlight was after the game. It was the
But before and after the game.
before and after the game. But the what they did for Arsene Wenger as a goodbye. The coolest thing was that trophy from the Invincibles year.
Yeah,
that
they gave him the trophy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave a great speech, and the crowd was really cool to him the entire match, which I think was kind of proof that even some of the most ardent Wenger outs weren't like, I wish I'd never met you. That's not remotely where anybody was. It was just, it's time to do something different.
He will still be the greatest manager they've ever had.
Yeah.
And he has still done so much for football in his career.
And
he helped to build that club.
can't wait to see what he's going to do next. They're buzzing already about him. He's going to go somewhere.
Did you hear the headlines? So today, I I was listening to an interview on Sirius XM's FC, and they had him on for an interview, and he was saying that he's actually really surprised at how many offers he's been getting from clubs all over the world to come manage for them, and that he's not, excuse me, he's not ready to retire, which is interesting because I assumed after all this, you're done. But he's not. But he did basically say he turned down an offer for an English club and that he's looking to go elsewhere. So it's cool that he's getting a ton of offers.
Coventry City's not getting Arsene Wenger. So yes, it counts as an English club, but come on.
You don't make you wonder who that would have been.
I doubt anybody in the Premier League.
Well, but it was probably something in the Premier League.
I don't know. That would be my guess, I guess.
Well.
I had to.
He was like, no, I just got rid of Theo. I don't want him back. He's going to go
Stoke City?
French national team or somewhere in France, maybe. I could see that.
I think French national team, PSG, I think those are probably your top two. Anywhere back in France, I could see those happen. I don't think he goes to Spain. I don't think he goes to Germany.
No.
Yeah. It'd be kind of cool to see him coach Dortmund. That'd be kind of cool, but yeah.
You mean when their coach comes to Arsenal?
Right.
But yeah,
I love looking at the bookie numbers all the time that change, like every few days, about who the most likely is to go.
But I do think he coaches again somewhere and still has success and will still win things. But yeah, what he did for Arsenal and how he built that club, the style he brought to the league is just...
And they gave him a great send-off.
Legend.
Yeah, it was a great send-off.
Your picture on a dirigible is still pretty badass.
Yeah.
In the stadium, the helium dirigibles.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah,
the dirigible. The dirigible.
Dirigibles.
I dance under that name.
Dirigible dingus.
Dirigible.
Onto the stage.
Give a warm Rachel's welcome.
Dirigible dingus. Come out there with a banana.
It's got to be silver, though.
Oh, man. That's your Duke Silver.
That is my Duke Silver.
Brilliant.
I love when we can break Ferris. It makes me happy.
Yeah. Dingus threw me right out. I was gone.
The last match, which provided some interesting drama for the top four, for a change, was Chelsea 1 over Liverpool.
Man, what a match. That was crazy. I enjoyed it. It was a ton of fun.
Yeah, I was watching. What the hell else was I watching at that time that I was slipping back and forth? The Arsenal game was on at the same time. But Chelsea played well. Liverpool didn't look very good, but Chelsea played well.
And then I guess this is the end of 36. Was the Swansea, or is this start of 37? Tuesday, Swansea City,
that was
Southampton.
the 37.
And say, okay, whatever. Swansea City, Southampton. Swansea at home gets almost the rest of the death nail in as they lose to Southampton 1-0.
Gabbiadini finally showed back up and did something with his life.
Yeah.
And this saved Southampton.
They saved Southampton, but sent West Brom from all the
seals their
romance that was possibly there on Saturday and sealed their fate.
So we had a Stoke City and a West Brom
officially
done.
Gone.
But that wouldn't be all, although technically it's not officially yet. Things are still happening because first I need the other Hefeweizen.
The Hefeweizen.
And we'll talk real quick about the week 37 matches because there's just a couple. But they play into this. First up, speaking of the lovely Sir Patrick Stewart,
Kurt,
Chelsea at home against Huddersfield. They need that one other point to stay alive.
Beat me up, Scotty.
And those mother scratchers draw against Chelsea after drawing against Man City. And this time they do it by scoring. I mean,
it's cool that they're staying up. And all three teams staying up has only happened 2 other times in the Premier League.
Yeah, this is the 3rd time in history that the top...
Is it now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, me darn.
All 3.
Chelsea.
The lovely Rebecca
That's
Lowe.
a cool
told us
stat,
that.
though. That's a cool stat.
The 02 season and the 2012 season.
And we kind of liked all the people that got promoted this year, so that's kind of fun.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And Huddersfield, like, what a joy, what a crazy end of their run to draw against Man City and then Chelsea when people had written them off. And I think it was their manager that said getting promoted was a dream. Staying in will be a miracle.
Right.
Or something like that.
Staying up will be a miracle.
And just, wow. And they actually scored first in the 50th minute. It was 0-0 at the half. And I couldn't believe this. Oh, is that the end of Swansea? Is this about to break hearts there? And then Chelsea scored. And then the last 20 minutes of this game, I swear Chelsea had the ball. It was like a FIFA game where you want to throw the controller through the window. Yep. Like dribbled in front of Huddersfield net so many freaking times.
And so many shots, back to back, rebound, shot again.
And it just wasn't happening.
Dragged wide.
It was the minute 80. And I was like, I hate to feel this way and jinx it. But after seeing one of those series happen, some days it's just not your day. And I was like, I don't think Huddersfield's going down.
And
but
Chelsea,
I still wasn't worried because they were playing Arsenal next. They're probably going to win that game. So it might have been safe. Still might have been safe.
Chelsea couldn't buy. Chelsea should have lost this game. If you watched it, I watched it at work. And I
don't know what you're talking about.
Allegedly.
Whatever. The goal that Chelsea scored was a complete accident. Yes. It is a deflection off of Marcus Alonso's big old chin.
They would have earned any of those other ones that were almost. But
that's a nice chin. That's a nice chiseled chin with a good set of hair on him.
They couldn't buy a direct run of play goal.
Didn't he get hit in the face at one point, the goalkeeper? He totally Scott Sterling'd it.
Yes.
Like one of those like crazy.
And the other goal that this is where I knew Chelsea was going to draw it. They had a point blank header. Azpilicueta is up in the air, has no business being as high as he is, puts a beautiful header. And as Robbie, who are the two Robbies?
Robbie Mustoe
and Robbie Earl?
Yeah.
Robbie Earl said it. If their goalkeeper trimmed his nails last night, he would have missed that save.
Just edged it just enough
to hit the post. And it was quite the save. Like, it wasn't, he was at a full stretch.
It's save of the week.
I think it's save of the year.
Like, yeah.
Because it kept them up.
Mm-hmm. and as that time counted down, then there were 6 minutes of extra time. It was the most tense.
And 6 more Chelsea shots on goal.
6 minutes.
The Chelsea had video of Sir Patrick Stewart with that whistle
bouncing up and down.
I didn't see that yet.
Awesome.
So great.
Like a kid. Yeah.
Chelsea had 82% of the possession in the last 22 minutes.
82% of the time, every time.
It was
awesome.
Incredible.
I mean, it was.
And not only was it incredible, because Huddersfield, man, again, play with such conviction and passion and such a narrow defensive shape, which was brilliant. It really shone a huge spotlight on the disarray that Chelsea are really in.
You're gonna love my beer this Sunday.
I don't think I'm going to.
Yeah, you are.
I'm curious. I'm excited.
It fits all of us very well. But it just this particular conversation, it's why I kind of wanted to do that beer today. And I said, I'll do the beer. You're like, I got like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'll do it Sunday. It'll still work on Sunday. Yeah. I'm very excited. It'll make total sense.
It does. This game shone a huge spotlight on all of the issues Chelsea are having right now.
One of them being Caballero.
And that goal scored on him. He ran out to meet the player, did not make a play on the ball, just kind of got in the way, and then completely faked a chest injury when the replay shows
chest injury
that he gets hit in the leg.
It's bad.
And really what this is him trying to save face because of the miserable play he just made. That is the only reason he is rolling around on the ground. It was a glancing contact and
bidding war between Arsenal and Chelsea for Jack Butland.
Oh God, it was so terrible. And I'm thinking to myself, what in the hell is Caballero doing in? Courtois had a great game the week before the game before. What in the hell
because
are you putting him in
a
for?
top 4 spot?
Correct. Yeah, you're still doing
this. This is not
FA
a
Cup's not for 2 weeks.
And the lineup that you
and not for
have.
nothing. Screw the FA Cup. You get into this top 4 right now. Yeah.
It was just so frustrating. He didn't. Again, another team, much like Arsenal, who suffers from the inconsistency of play.
It's because Conte's already looking for his next gig.
Well, but you can't say that because...
Oh, he's done with Abramovich. You kidding?
No, but I mean, look at the game on Sunday. He looked like old Conte then. He was up and down the sidelines. He was yelling at the players.
Passionate.
He had some passion in a tracksuit, good hair going, and he was back to his usual.
Back to the guy I want to hang out, have a wine with
3
him.
days, yeah.
And then
3 days
today, he was
later, it's
Eeyore.
crap.
Yeah.
Good for him.
He didn't. Well, it's because
No, not good for him because he was Eeyore. But there's on Sunday, we'll talk more about the disarray of Chelsea. But 35 players on loan.
My beer would make
that's
sense.
every year though. Come on, that's not. I mean,
I'm just saying that
If only you had someone to score.
the problem is that they could pull all 35 players back and still not have a good team.
No, it's true. But
They'd
boy,
have 3 good players.
you know who has been great for you though? Boy, he busted his butt today. The lumbersexual Olivier Giroud played his butt off to try and make something happen.
meaty French forehead's the one that scored on Sunday.
Yeah, and you know the only person who could that was going to sound weird. Exactly how I was going to say it. The only person who could service him was Azpilicueta, who was making runs up and down that right side.
The old Spanish-French connection.
But
Willian put a ball right past him, rifled it like a bullet, and didn't need to.
he could really though be a star for you guys next year.
So here's how I agree. However, Chelsea is constantly says we got to bring in a striker, got to bring in a striker, got to bring in a striker.
They brought one in.
Hold on. But then they bring in, well, I'll argue, yes, Morata is a striker, but he is only good at certain things. Giroud, striker, better with his head than anything else.
And good at linking play. He's one of those few strikers that's real good at that. Yeah.
Well, and he's more of a center forward.
Yes. Yeah.
But they constantly bring in attacking players with very specific skill sets. Once Diego Costa left,
I have a very specific set of skills.
You could argue Diego Costa more of a center forward as well.
Yes.
Because he linked play and
God.
did.
Just
he
when I
played
thought
with
I
some more
could not hate him anymore, and then they knock Arsenal out of the Europa, and I just hate Diego Costa a little bit
Phil
more.
was pretty pissed about that one.
Oh, God. Anybody else, it wouldn't have made me mad. Diego Costa.
So we'll talk more about Chelsea's woes on Sunday, but man,
which is why
we've got a lot of them.
We got stuff to wrap up about Chelsea next week, which is why I don't need to talk much about this next game. Leicester destroy Arsenal 3-1 after they give a thank you, Arsene. They then say, here's a one-fingered salute to Arsenal or to Arsene, and 3-1 against Leicester. And
somebody sent off in this game too, didn't they?
Vepanapanopoulous.
Although when I saw the highlight, I didn't quite understand why he got sent off.
For a really long name.
And it's like his second game played.
He commits a professional foul and drags a guy down from behind.
Second yellow?
I didn't think it was his
Last
second
man?
yellow.
He was the last man.
You don't get a direct
if you're last man and he's on goal, then yes, it's a red.
I would have to look at that.
I've never seen that happen.
I didn't get to see this
You
match.
always get the professional foul of a yellow, but
in the midfield. But
he was in midfield.
Yeah,
he's by the arc,
right? But if he was, I didn't see the game, so I don't know. I'm not saying if he would have gotten the red if it's from behind and
there's no one in front,
and there's nobody in front, like he's the attack. There's nobody in front of the attacker and the goal, and you take him down. That's a red.
But
we'll have to look.
Leicester has a good match against Arsenal, and there you go.
Riyad Mahrez in the 90th. What a goal! God, it shows how deadly he still is.
I would like to see him on Arsenal. Can you imagine?
I think he'd fit in that squad well.
Can you imagine a Lacazette, Aubameyang, Mahrez front three there?
Yeah. Deadly. Ozil and Sanchez, who?
Well,
if you have that
Ozil's
team.
still there. So you would have Ozil sitting behind him, and then what you
but-
need,
Let's be fair, he's only there for half of the game.
two people sitting in midfield. So you need like a Jackie Wilshere and then somebody else. And who is
Speaking
that
of-
person?
N'Golo Kante.
Today is
Could you
not
imagine?
Blaze Matuidi would be perfect there.
Today is not the game to talk about, but Jack Wilshere actually, the previous game, the 5-0 against Burnley, really trying to make a case for being on the English national team.
Who is
Yep.
this?
Mr. Wilshere.
You know what? I mean, the midfield of England's not that strong. He could make it. In there with Jordan Henderson and
Which is weird because
name
we were
somebody
giving him
else.
so much
Exactly.
stick last year.
Next match of this
Prowse.
match week 37 was Man City home against Brighton of Albion. They destroy them 3-1. It's really good.
Brighton don't care.
Yeah, they're good. They're in.
They don't care.
And Man City's got the trophy. They don't care either. And then
Which we failed to mention on their game on Sunday against Huddersfield, which they drew. They lifted that
They did lift.
at home, which was a very cool moment in what they've been.
where
which they
Pep
rightfully
Guardiola
won this year on the way they
stirred
played.
the Arsenal pot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
you
that was
didn't say
good.
that.
Because
Yeah.
Thierry Henry was like, "Can I ask you a question?" He answers it, and then Pep's like, "Yeah," and then and we want to see you be a manager next year here. And I'm like, "Oh man, just like stirring that Arsenal pot." I mean, we'll talk all about managers, I'm sure,
Yeah.
for our wrap up. But yeah, I thought Pep's like, look at it. Although Pep talking about a younger guys, ex players, or more recently ex players, like he wants more folks like him.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm tired of having drinks at the managers' meetings, all these oldies. Let's get, come on, buddy.
In my day, football, we played this way.
Hey there, son.
And then finally, Tottenham against Newcastle 1-0.
Harry Kane.
Well, this an important game for Tottenham because this gets Tottenham in third place now
And guarantees
with
them.
74 points, guaranteed in the top four. So now you have Liverpool. So really,
Well, which hold on, which just to explain why that's so big is yes, they stay in the top four, but they're going to have Champions League football in their new home
Yep.
next year. That's,
And that's
huge.
awesome.
You want
And-
that cash coming in when you're opening up this brand new state of the art stadium.
And you want the electric feel of a new stadium when you play Champions
On a
League at
European
home.
night.
well, and so you've got them at third at 74 points, and then that leaves you fourth. Liverpool was 72, Chelsea was 70. So Chelsea obviously needs Liverpool to lose, and they
Drawing
need to
ain't gonna
win.
help
Right.
Even if Liverpool
But
draw and Chelsea win,
It's not.
they need Liverpool to
Liverpool
lose,
has
and
to
they need
lose.
to
And
win.
really, that's what we're looking forward to, with the exception of if Swansea City can score. No, I guess technically got to score 12. Did you say 12? I guess it is would be, right?
Oh, well, I don't know.
Oh, no, they got to score 10. They need to score 10 goals.
So if Man City wins
And
5-0,
Southampton
they win
was-
5.
Right.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous.
Not very
like,
likely.
Swansea's going down. But really, the game we're looking at to see is Tottenham, or the two games we're looking at are Chelsea and Liverpool to see what they end up doing.
How that all works out. Interesting. Going back to this
It's funny,
Tottenham.
by the way, you just said that. Sorry about and Champions League coming to Tottenham, and then also thinking like, yes, and European clubs flying all the way to Burnley. It's also going to be happening.
Yeah.
So funny. That's so funny.
More.
That'd be
And you
tough.
have
The
like
Dave Fishwick
you have
is
like these big coaches. Who's the guy
like Ancelotti that
for Inter or somebody
right.
like that. And you have these big guys and they're going to
Turfmore.
shake hands with Sean Dyche.
yeah,
That's awesome.
They're going to shake hands and find out how strong that Scottish
Yeah,
grip
they
is.
will.
Yeah.
And then I'll headbutt
'em.
but them steal
Singing.
the ball from the opponent and score a goal against them.
Yeah.
Welcome to Turfmore.
Real quick, going back to the Tottenham Newcastle, kind of to steal a bit from TV, a wag of the finger to Tottenham fans in this match at halftime. They send their team, send the Spurs into halftime with a rousing round of booing for being drawn at halftime to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Because they were worried that Chelsea's going to win against Huddersfield.
And you would think they would have. So, yeah.
So, but a
Do we
round
wag the
of
finger, or do we just say Spurs are like, great, we're the Spurs again? And they were mad about that.
That's so Spursy.
That was about to be really Spurs. They saw it coming.
and then English Jesus comes out in the 50th and puts one in the net and holds them off. But,
I'm really
But I don't know.
amazed.
Harry
I
Kane.
How
thought,
did the new royal baby not get named Harry Kane?
Oh, me. Yeah, that's a very valid argument.
but I don't know that I would have gone so far as to boo Tottenham.
Oh, no.
Just they have been they're in the top 4, maybe the 5th, but you still had a phenomenal season.
Yeah, but you know what? they still are going to leave this season yet again, despite how good they've played, despite having Sir Harry of Kane, despite having a new stadium soon. They haven't won silverware.
Well, okay, this is kind of a bigger thing that we can roll into for our wrap up.
Nothing, not even the Chupacabra Cup.
When people are talking about like the excitement for what they're going to see next year, they're talking about Man City, they're talking about Manchester United, and they're talking about Liverpool. Tottenham definitely falls lower in that conversation. Right. There's still this feeling that like, oh, they're great. They're not, but they're not going to be.
They haven't won anything. No silverware. Nothing. Yes, they played a great style of ball. And people rag on Man United for finishing second and whatnot, but United won,
I think they rag on Man United for not living up to their potential, which is slightly different.
Fine, but Tottenham's not the team to say that because Tottenham hasn't won anything.
Thank you for reminding me of that. So when I go buy the pies and the guy from Tottenham makes fun of my Arsenal shirt when I'm there, thank you. I need to remind me of that.
I mean, it's
hold on to that.
Right. You can talk about the style of play and the players you have and all this, but you haven't won anything. Like I said, not even the Carling Cup or whatever, the Chupacabra Cup that it's called now. Nothing.
The Chupacabra Cup by Blake? You mean
by Blake.
I would say if Tottenham is in this game getting booed at halftime, they're in 10th.
I agree. Don't boo, but
not in contention for a top 4 spot, and you're booing your team.
Right. I mean, and you don't boo in a game where there's no likelihood of
they have been.
They should have booed after the FA Cup game when they're basically playing in their backyard. That's when you should boo.
They have been Spurs fans for years. They all knew in their souls at that moment Chelsea was beating Huddersfield and they were going to get knocked out of the top 4. They all saw it coming. They all knew. Like, it's just like old days. Chelsea's a new Arsenal.
I hope they all sound like that.
Hopefully the proper pie company do not listen to this podcast. They will not be selling us pies at the end of this.
I just want,
They're going to put
by the way,
I do want Tottenham to do well. Because they are a historic club. They do have great players that play for them. I do want them to do well, but going another season, are they going to be able to hang on to the Toby Alderweireld? Are they going to be able to hang on to the Ericssons, to the Alis, to the Kanes? I don't know.
I think Eriksson will go. I don't know. He's been hanging out there too long, and he's such a good player.
You needed to at least, had they beaten United and playing for the FA Cup final in 2 weeks, I mean that's enough to probably keep players there because you're getting somewhere. But
I think what happened is what's his name who went to Man City from Tottenham?
Walker?
Defender. Yes. Walker splits, goes to another club, has amazing success. Other people on the team are like, well, I'll give it another year. We're gonna be good. I think now starts the tide of players splitting out of Tottenham to essentially get out of the no silverware.
And then when all those guys leave, welcome Burnley to the Champions League. That's what happens next year.
Gosh, yes, please.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Real Madrid. And
notice I didn't say Chelsea or Arsenal. I said Burnley. Yeah, like that's who's gonna go.
Yeah, we have too many problems.
Yeah, it's gonna be. We're gonna be like the New York Jets. It's a rebuilding year for the next 20.
Right? Yeah, that'll be like the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a rebuilding year. It's a rebuilding year.
Every year is a rebuilding year.
Their draft picks suck.
Well, it's a rebuilding year.
That's a transition year.
It's a transition year. Yeah, it's a transition year. You just go back and forth from. Yeah.
But man, I don't want to let Premier League go. But we'll talk about that on Sunday. But man, it's been a fun run
so far. Yeah.
Yeah,
hopefully and get some excitement on
some Sunday.
Yeah, like I would like it's going into the 75th, 80th minute on Sunday, and it's 1-1 in each, or like Liverpool's down by 1 and Chelsea are up by 1. Just to see
Salah gets a brace right at the end, and it's all. Oh.
I was thinking like the meaty French forehead just pushes them through.
All right,
I'll go for Chelsea in this one. That's because it's against Liverpool, so it's hard. But
I knew that you weren't doing that out of the goodness of your heart.
Yeah, no. Hell no.
No, not at all. Well, do we chat a little quick MLS real quick before we sign off?
No.
What?
Because I'm back from Japan.
Hello. That's right.
And
I'm going to do that first.
I have some presents real quick.
We were supposed to do that at the beer, weren't we?
We were.
The beer led us straight in.
It was fine.
Well, it got all thrown off because we said introduce ourselves, and then Ferris went straight into the beer.
Well, because we were talking about Ron, and I just
we have never been that efficient. And I didn't
You
know
call
what
that efficiency?
I didn't know what to do with ourselves.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Ferris was surgical.
Yeah.
Just right in there.
That's why I do the content. Half the time it's wrong, and we're like, wait, they're not actually.
So something I've been
I
trying
never thought about a dirigible dinkus being
you realize
we get to put if you win the fantasy league, we get to put whatever name we want on the back of the
Yes.
jersey.
No. That's not part of the. It was not part of the. No.
so great.
Dirigible dingus or Moo Thunder. That's what you get.
we just put
No.
DD on the back.
That was not part of any of this agreement.
Well, it was never specified, so we could
just
go
said with a
either
custom
way.
name on the back. We didn't say you picked it.
That's fairly accurate.
Daddy, what's that man's shirt say? Don't look, son.
Dirigible.
Daddy, what's a dingus?
Well, we definitely broke a record for the amount of times dingus has been said on this show.
Threw on it. Yeah.
It's an Australian. It's the name of an Australian kangaroo child.
I just blew a snot bubble out my nose. All in sports talk. Do you want us now? I mean, that's
Glad we're on your network.
yeah.
So, a couple of things I've been trying to do while I was over in Japan, the many times, I've been trying to catch a game. And, so I was fortunate enough to be able to get myself out and catch one, which was super cool.
Oh,
Nice.
While I was there, I hit the pro shop, gentlemen.
Ooh, excited.
So this is for Ferris,
Oh, I'm excited.
and this one's for Blake.
sexy rapping job.
Hey, I have no time. And
Hey,
then
man.
this one's for me.
I like Publix. I like that you got yourself one too, so we can all unwrap at the same
Yeah.
time. What?
You got me an antlers kit.
Yep.
Yes.
It's got a cowboy
Oh
hat.
my god,
Dude,
I love it.
Turn that kid around.
Yes, it's
Turn
amazing.
it around.
Oh my, that's a cowboy hat. Oh,
I went back to the pod.
see my antlers kit. This is fantastic. It's like Christmas. God, it's a good looking kit and nice
It
and
is.
red too.
Yeah, their logo is great.
God, and it has a very south of the border cowboy hat on it too.
Yeah, their crest is awesome, and they're spinning around there, buddy. So I went back to the podcast
Their
to listen,
crest is really cool.
and I had to sort through all the podcasts to remember which one we were talking about. And
Yeah.
and that's how I remembered you were the Kashima
Oh,
Antlers.
thank you so much.
And then Blake and I have
Fantastic.
Gamba Osaka.
Check it out.
Those are sharp kits. You have
Yeah.
the Samsung and the Panasonic now. You have the entire tech industry up on your
between the chills.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, and these are Umbro too.
Yeah, they're super comfy.
Heck yeah, dude.
That was the.
you.
What did you say those were?
This is
Gamba
Gamba
Osaka.
Osaka.
Gamba Osaka. I am proud to say that the Kashima Antlers, 8th in the league. Gamba Osaka.
Kashima.
Kashima, 16th in the league.
Where's Gamba
In the
Osaka
relegation zone.
sitting?
16th.
It's all right. We're gonna pull
It's
through.
only after 13 games, though.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Now I have a new team on FIFA.
man.
Are these guys
Yep.
on FIFA?
Yes, I use these kits in FIFA because their kits are so awesome.
So now we have another
That kid
league
really
to follow.
is cool.
That is
I
a
like that it's got
sweet
the J
kid.
League patch on it too.
Yep.
Dude, you rock. Thanks,
Thank
man.
you so much.
Yeah, no worries.
This is awesome.
So now we have to follow the J League.
Hell
so we
yeah.
can add that to our list of leagues.
is this how many times they've won it? Because they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Correct.
9 stars.
That's how many times
Oh,
they
you guys won it a
Wow.
lot. We only won it once.
I love we're committed.
Yeah.
We are
We're in.
committed now.
God, that's a sharp looking kit.
That's awesome, man.
It has a cowboy hat on the back. I like you guys' the sleeve sleeve
Hold your kid up, Ron.
Umbro symbols.
Yeah, these things are slick looking, man.
That's a lot of stars. That's the most stars I think I've ever seen on a jersey.
Yeah, it's more than Bayern Munich. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's a lot.
I mean, have a little perspective. It's the J League.
Hey, that don't matter.
That's where Arsene Wenger came from.
True. Yeah, valid point.
Oh, that's awesome. New kit.
That is
Merry
super
Christmas,
exciting.
gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
All the way from Japan.
It is like Christmas. Dude,
man.
I'm really, though, jealous of the cowboy hat in the back. It's the most
so
random
great,
little,
isn't it?
It's such a cowboy, like one of those big foam cowboy hat looking things.
Yeah.
I love that.
It is a total south of the border type cowboy hat.
Yeah, you should have seen me in the shop talking with these people in their broken English and my broken Japanese.
Do you have anything bigger? This guy I'm buying for 6'3".
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, you should have seen me trying to describe how tall you are.
Tall drink of water. You want water? No.
It's so great. And having to I went and tried one of the Gamba Osaka on, and I was like, this one fits me. Now I need one to fit Blake. So, and then I'm holding them all up, and I have 4. If you've never been to Japan, the Japanese people are so polite, and all they want to do is help you. And so you can, sumimasen is the word for excuse me, but it's also a very polite sorry. And I never heard so many sumimasens from Japanese people as when I was like, nope, too big. Oh, sumimasen. And they'd rush off, find more jerseys, and come back. I had 5 people helping me to find the right jerseys. Oh, it was so great. It was just a carnival act.
That's awesome.
It was so much fun.
At the pro shop at Osaka?
Yeah. It was pretty awesome.
That's awesome. I finally have a blue kit.
Stay with red, baby.
I've never had a
Love
blue
it.
kit. I like the crest for the.
There's more stars on the side of my sleeve here. So.
I like the crest for the Osaka team because it's very classic looking.
Yeah.
It looks European.
Yeah, it
almost.
does. It does. You're right. It's the side on the sleeves there that makes it has a classic look.
Yeah, and their crests are the entire J League have phenomenal crests. They're really very European, but very
that's
nice.
something I wish I had been into while I was living over there back in the day.
I mean, it's super popular.
04, 05 was when I was there.
I went and watched
I mean, I haven't been there during season, to be honest.
Osaka, the derby for Osaka.
Was that against Surso Osaka?
Yeah, Cerezo.
Cerezo.
And I watched it in a Japanese sports bar in Kidashinchi. And
Were they into it?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
The place was packed.
Did they have, because I went to a baseball match there, and they have these, forget supporters, like what you might think in the MLS with your chants and stuff. They have, choreographed routines the entire stadium would do at the baseball game. Do the soccer?
It's very similar. Very similar.
Even
They put our supporters to shame. Everybody's got flags, foam fingers for soccer. They have oversized hats, the giant sunglasses with
dude, I love
those gag sunglasses you would get at Spencer Gifts back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Those with the crest on the eyeballs. And yeah,
I want one of those.
I couldn't find any.
That's your next hunt. When the next time you go to Japan, you got to get some of those sunglasses with the crest eyeballs.
And they have
we got to hang those up in the studio. That's awesome.
Oh, they have so much fun at soccer matches. It's so great. I couldn't understand any of the chants because it wasn't even, it's sung, so it's hard to understand the word.
Yeah, how it's
anyway.
broken up.
Yeah, so I would just clap along and dance, but oh man, what a fun time.
That's awesome.
It was fun to see Japanese see a Westerner at one of their matches. I guess it's not all that normal, but so many people coming up oh, hello, you're Western, you like soccer? Yeah, I'm from America. Oh, MLS, LA Galaxy. It's so funny. NYCFC is so funny. It was a good time.
That's awesome.
Sweet. I would say they're probably one of the top 10 leagues in the world.
I don't know
After
how to
your
rank
past.
it, but they were.
Yeah.
It's pretty popular, and they've
There
got
with
a lot of good
Australia
teams.
League,
The competition's
J
pretty
League,
tight.
yeah. Nice.
We got to plan a trip. We got a lot of trips we got to plan.
Oh,
We still got to find that sponsor who's going to pay us to go to every Premier League town and to the pub and
Did you see the article that I tagged you guys in?
Yeah,
That was pretty
slick.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, the guys who did the traveled around to the different Premier League stadiums and
they drank with the
Kinda
fans
got-
and watched
fans,
matches,
everything, yeah.
and they wrote a huge book about it.
I just want the coffee table book that's like, this is the pub for Tottenham. This is the pub. And you like break it down and it'll be so fun to do.
Yeah.
Because the most fun we'd have would be at places like Burnley and Bournemouth. Like you'd be excited about seeing your clubs in London or Manchester, but it would probably be those places
it would be
where you'd be like, those were the best stories. Those were the most fun. Would be
where did you have
those
the most
places? Cardiff, whatever.
Watford.
We hung out with Elton John.
Yeah.
Hang out in Huddersfield and party with the X-Men.
And Captain Kirk.
Oh my God, it's Picard.
Whatever.
It's Picard.
You
Beam
say
me
that
up,
you
Scotty.
did it on purpose.
Yeah, beam me up. No, he never said that.
Which one was that?
He had
That
no
was
one.
Spock?
No.
who
Who's
said
I'm
Beam
saying?
Me Up, Scotty?
They didn't do Beam Me Up Scotty
Oh,
on
which
the
one was
Next
that?
Generation because Scotty wasn't in the Next because that's the original show. The Next Generation, it was that
Make it-
Irish guy usually.
Right. O'Brien.
Brian, yeah.
But didn't he say make it so all
Make
the
it
time?
so. Make it so. Which is what everybody was sharing online as soon as Huddersfield was secured. It was pictures of Patrick Stewart with "Make it so." Number 1, make it so.
All right.
MLS.
All right, quickly to a flight of MLS. The New York Red Bulls at home against NYCFC. Woof. 4-0. They destroy an NYCFC team that had been rolling, but has kind of had a bit of a hiccup.
Off the back of 2 really quick goals.
And the best thing about this
2
match,
minute and 4 minute. Yeah.
aside from the fact that they lost and that helps Orlando City, was the post-match press conference.
I didn't see this.
Playoffs.
The NYCFC coach said the folling line,
Fear.
and I quote, "If I could have replaced all 10 players, I would have."
And then Arsenal said, fine, come on over to us. We've got a position open. Arteta is going to be your assistant. That could just as easily happen.
Right.
I love that. If I could replace all of them, I would have. Ooh,
Oh, that's rough.
he was angry. He was
And
like,
he
guys,
should have been.
What are you doing? I'm angling for a job back in London. Don't make me look bad.
Yeah. Right.
Psych.
So that makes the Red Bulls top of NYCFC.
I'd like your headline. Reds run rampant in Hudson River Derby. But it should have been Reds run rampant in Hudson River route.
It's true. No, but it's a derby game. You had to mention the derby in there somewhere. And, on the second goal, I do like the classic celebration where he goes to the sideline, pulls the bow out of the back, gives it a little shot. Good celebration. Sorry, I'm watching highlights of the goal. And that was good.
Our next MLS match, Chicago Fire 1, Atlanta United away 2. Atlanta United, this was their 8th win, right?
Unbeaten. Unbeaten.
Not
Unbeaten.
win.
Not wins in a row.
But
Ezekiel Barco
gets his first goal. And first MLS goal. 8 unbeaten. Atlanta United looking good, top of the league as it stands right now. Overall, not just the East, but overall.
Yeah, they are the
for the not supporter
currently
shield, but
not as of the stats for tonight because they're still in the they're still playing, but they are the best team in the league currently by wins and goal differential.
I always forget
points.
it's not supporter shield. That's England. What's the MLS one?
Isn't it the supporter?
No,
Is it
it
supporter
is
shield?
a supporter shield.
Oh, what's
You're thinking of the community shield.
Community shield.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah.
But that's the gameplay. That's not the name of who wins
Yeah,
the
yeah,
league.
yeah,
They you just call them they won the league.
Yeah. They just won the league. Yeah. Dip. Then we've got what you got?
Real quick though, I want to throw out some transfer news here with Chicago Fire. A lot of talk right now that they are in the running to sign Fernando Torres.
Yeah,
as a possible another striker to come and play to the side of Nikolic.
There's a bunch of transfer. There's also Wayne Rooney being talked about to
DC United.
I would love to have him in the league,
Bro,
which means
but not
we would see
DC
him.
United.
So, why
would he
not?
go
Why not?
there?
So
Why would he go from Everton?
Well, you don't want to stack your team, so
Well,
why not? Spread it out. I like it.
Here's why I think it's a bad fit for DC United.
It's not what they need.
Agreed, 100%. Rooney in the MLS is not necessarily. I think it's good, obviously, because
He's not going to be a goal scoring machine in MLS. I don't.
You don't know that.
DC United has no one to do anything with him. They have a terrible defense. They have a terrible midfield. They have holes all over the place.
I just see him being frustrated the whole time he plays.
If you're going to spend his going rate is $17 million right now to come out of Everton.
Change in today's market.
Yeah, but you're also going to pay $40 million on the transfer fee.
If it fills your stadium, it's worth it. But I don't know that he's going to fill that stadium.
Well, don't they have a new stadium?
Next
year.
year. But here's my opinion. A lot of the teams are going to South America to find younger players who are making an impact.
Do the Atlanta thing.
Take that $57 million that you would spend in transfer fees and all that other crap and his salary and put it to 4 or 5 solid other players.
I think the problem is you were saying if you are a DC United fan and you think you're going to drop $60 million when what we need so much, pull a Columbus Crew where you got no one big and famous, but you put a solid crew together, you know?
Yes.
Well,
like
but that's who's saying that they don't build around him? And you want a big name.
How are you going to build around him? How are you going to build around him? You have no money left.
You only have to build around him for a few years, and you get a
With
big
what
name,
money?
You get a big name player that comes in to open up the stadium, which then helps bring in more cash. Jersey sales alone, when he came here, would bring in a bunch.
Seriously,
so
why does Rooney want to go to DC United? You just got to play at terrible Everton. Now you're going to play at terrible DC United.
Well,
and in Everton, at least people were like, "Oh, hey, you're Wayne Rooney. Here, go do the. You want to see to the restaurant?"
He would be in
DC. He's going to come in and go, "I just want to get a spot. Sit down, please. Can I have a restaurant? No, who are you? Get out of here."
I mean, yes, he would be in for the payday, but I think it's worth the gamble to bring him in. They have some. I mean, they have Paul Areola there. They have Emil Assad. I mean, they have some players there.
None of them are doing anything.
Because the rest of the team is not that great. But
so bringing in an international superstar is suddenly going to make you
for a very small portion.
Yeah, but
in a sense, because he won't start immediately. There'll be the gap after. I don't know.
Well, it's not going to the World Cup, so why not?
It's not worth it.
In
my opinion, looking at DC, of course, I think. Excuse me, Wayne Rooney being in the Premier League in the MLS will only help the MLS. I just don't think DC United is in the position to actually do it to improve themselves in any real, and also I'm not looking at next year. I'm looking at how does this help you in 3 years?
Yeah. Right. But you're thinking, I mean, what other clubs, look at the clubs around them that have done that have brought in these big name players. They're kind of the only one that hasn't. So why not make a big splash?
But LA Galaxy brought in Zlatan.
Well, but LA Galaxy have brought in Steven Gerrard, and they brought in David Beckham, and they brought in David Beckham. David Beckham built this league and won a couple of titles. I mean, but Donovans of the world, like they brought in. Look at Chicago with Schweinsteiger. Look at the Red Bulls with Thierry Henry. Look at NYCFC with David Villa. I mean,
but Schweinsteiger filled a specific need though that Chicago had.
Yeah, but
the rest didn't really. Yeah,
no, DC can bring in it because they need goals. He'll get you goals. That's a need that they.
Somebody's got to get that ball to him.
I don't think he's going to get them goals. He's going to get them.
Why wouldn't he?
Because he has. It's like him showing up to play soccer and no one else. The rest of the team fares is terrible.
Yeah, but they're not. They're still professional players, and he can help raise the level of everybody by coming in. Even if it's a spark for a few games, he will help bring goals.
This is
not enough to make it worth it.
That lights the rebellion.
Well,
I don't think it's enough to make it worth it.
Star Wars now?
That's the Last Jedi.
Okay, thank
you.
Yeah.
You go.
David,
as Rudy says.
David Rooney.
As Rudy says.
Wayne Rooney is the Last Jedi.
Rooney will walk out on the pitch and say, "This is not over. I will be the spark that lights the rebellion that ends the empire. I will not be the Last Jedi." That's my new Rooney impersonation.
Thank you, Blake.
Try to make him a little different sound. Then Vardy.
Hey, then Vardy. That's right. You did a different English accent.
He's Kylo Ren. I want to be like Darth Vader. There's some beers and the chips on the plane. Got a cool lightsaber.
Who would Han Solo be?
Han Solo? Oh, that's Jurgen Klopp. Are you kidding me?
I was thinking he's Chewy.
Yeah, that's Jurgen. No, Chewy's like, who's, oh man, Chewy.
Who would Chewy be?
That's Sean Dyche. But it's red fur.
This is fun. Let's keep going. Who's C-3PO?
C-3PO, Arlo White.
Amazing.
Yes, that's Arlo White. He's perfect. Like, if you're going to do a cartoon and you couldn't get the regular guy, Arlo White would be like a good voice for that. Okay. He totally, yeah.
With the command of the language.
Yeah, it was Arlo White. He's fluent in 6 million forms of calling a soccer match.
Who's Poe?
Who's Poe? Oh, that's tough. Like he's
Graham Lasso.
You got like a swarthiness, kind of like a Diego Costa, who's not Premier League now, but he's too
Pep
evil.
Guardiola?
Oh no. Who's failed Jedi Luke? Arsene Wenger. Yeah. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. That's Arsene Wenger. Old. This is when he walks up and hands him the soccer ball and he throws it over his shoulder.
Amazing.
That's totally it. Oh. And who's the Yoda that smacks him in his face? Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, totally. Rebecca Lowe is Princess Leia.
Oh, yeah.
No, I want her to be Rey. I want her swinging a lightsaber.
That's true. No, 100%. I agree with that one.
Well, then, I was going to go the other way and say the Gibraltar goddess was Ren.
Can we open this up? That's Alex Morgan.
Oh, there we go.
Well, we're doing that. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, well, we don't.
Then David Villa would be Poe.
Yeah, Pogba is Finn.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, that's perfect.
That's fun.
Yeah, totally. He's totally Finn. That's how that works.
I like that our thing is casting movies out of the Premier Leagues and
well, we went MLS, we went NWSL.
Right. Out of the different leagues.
On this one.
Oh, speaking of which,
who's
Zlatan Ibrahimovic?
Ooh.
Boba Fett. The mask finally comes off, and he is the most bad person in the galaxy.
He's not that. No.
Darth Maul with hair.
I do like the Darth Maul shout.
and only a few red streaks because he's like, I don't need
the Darth
it.
Maul shout. Yeah.
But he's totally got the horns for the headbutt.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nope. Sorry, it's Zinedine Zidane. That's who that. No, I said headbutt. That's who that is. He's the ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn.
Which one's that?
That's Liam Neeson's character.
Yeah.
Lando Calrissian, Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
Because they handball, he turned in. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. Following.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. we made Kylo Ren. Who was Darth Vader? Do we have a Darth Vader?
We haven't done a Darth Vader yet.
I feel like that would be the Jose almost.
No, Jose's the Emperor.
Oh, that's okay.
Louis Van Gaal
is why you fail. Who is Louis Van? Louis Van Gaal is fun. Old Yoda, maybe when he's it's like all over the place. Like that's Louis Van Gaal. If Jose's the Emperor, then Louis Van Gaal's totally Yoda. Yeah, who's Darth Vader? Is that Zlatan? No, because he never lose.
Because he's also better as that like right hand man ass kicker type.
He can't lose.
I don't know.
Let's get
that'd be a tough one.
Yeah. Alex Ferguson. He's got that.
He wasn't.
He's got that classic like.
But he'd be on the
maybe the noble that goes bad that comes back to noble.
No, because he doesn't belong on the dark side. Speaking of which, we all did you guys see the news with him this past week?
No, what? Well, I know
Alex. Yeah,
what happened? Where's the status with him?
United released a statement saying he's doing well. He's out of. Let me see if I can scan through and find it because I don't want to.
Well, because Arsene Wenger actually brought this up at the
he did, and all the league and everybody. I mean, it's when somebody of that caliber and then somebody of kind of your own, the league just kind of comes together. Out of United released a statement: no longer needs intensive care after emergency surgery for brain hemorrhage. And he is out of intensive care and I guess in rehab in a hospital. So glad to hear he is doing better. Sorry to bring the mood down.
Wait a minute. I can bring the mood back up a little bit because he's doing better. So that's good. Poe. No. A gentleman of Latin origin who was rushing bullheaded into things and wouldn't listen. It's Cristiano Ronaldo. He's going to play the role of Poe.
Love it. I'm game.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that's who that is.
Pogba and then Ronaldo. Yeah.
See, there you go.
Okay. Yep, got it. Darth Vader, we got to figure that one out.
I can't believe it's as hard as it. I feel like that wouldn't have been easy.
I think we do not cast Darth Vader. We let the listeners cast Darth Vader.
Yeah, we can
so send us your tweets.
Who would Darth Vader?
And your
who would be Darth Vader?
Facebook
in the soccer world.
Yeah, Darth Vader soccer world.
Matt in Atlanta. It's not Joseph Martinez, so don't even send us that one.
No, but I feel like it's got to be someone that's like did well, fall, and redemption somehow.
Right.
That's how that's got to work.
Did well, fall. And Joseph Martinez, he went down with the injury, came back. But don't send us that one.
Yeah, that was off limits.
At least until after Sunday.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll do all those predictions that day.
Right.
Real quick, for the rest of MLS, Houston Dynamo 3-2 over the LA Galaxy.
Good match. Fun to watch.
Yep.
Late winner from the Dynamo at home.
And then for the match, we were all at. Well, no. Yes. Yeah, Ron was back for this.
Back,
yeah.
I
He was
brain
supposed
damage.
to be back, but he did get back, yeah.
But 3-1 Orlando City over Real Salt Lake. So Orlando stretches it to a 6-game win streak at this point with goals from Dom Dwyer, Sane, and Yoshi.
And
Come from behind in this one, too.
to be honest, the most classy way to get back at a player in the MLS that I have seen so far.
yeah.
When the guy got in Dom's face.
So Dom Dwyer gets taken down from behind, and as they're going down, gets forearmed to the face twice by the player who took him down. And the two exchange words, and the defender from Real Salt Lake is like kind of walking away and still giving Dom lip. Dom gets right in his face and points to the scoreboard, shows him 3 fingers on one hand and his index finger on the other one, saying, hey, the score is 3-1, and then waves goodbye.
With a big smile.
With a huge ear-to-ear grin.
And it was where we were sitting, so it was like
We could
on
see
our end.
everything.
Right, yeah.
What a
kinda awesome.
classy way to tell this guy to go fuck himself.
I love it.
It was perfect.
And Dom is one of those players, and Sid plays the same way for the Pride. Is they are intense the entire game.
Yep.
They play with an intensity. They are
Cool under pressure.
strikers and finishers of the ball, but they put in tackles. They play tough. They body you up.
They don't quit, man.
No, they do not. And Dom's one of those, you love having him on your team, but if you're the other team seeing that, you're like that so and so, like you know. But it's I prefer that over other stuff by far, because you're just going, look up here, fella.
Right. And the game was heated to the point where Orlando City was down since the 12th minute, and it was a very physical game. And
They were the better team in the first half. Not we were the better team in the first half.
On paper, all the
felt
stats
like
favored Orlando except the score line.
Right. We were just down, and it was a very chippy game, and it was a very physical game.
And their first goal was a beautiful chip. Speaking of chips,
yeah.
that goal was
So
great.
Up to that point, we had scored, obviously, it was like in the 82nd minute, and you could tell that Real Salt Lake was playing on regret and frustration. And it was so cool to watch Dom.
That's my Sunday gig name.
What?
That's my Sunday gig name. My show name. Regret and frustration.
So, moving on. So, it was so cool to watch him when you thought he was going to lose his temper because he was so mad. And then to watch him walk over, dissolve all of that, wave. It's 3-1, buddy.
3-1, dude.
Have a nice night. Was awesome.
Late. It was a fun match to be at. Real quick, just run down the last couple ones. Toronto returns to winning ways, puts 3 past Union 3-0.
Clobbered the
Union.
Finally.
Clobbered them.
Struggling. Toronto win a 6-goal shootout against the Revs 4-2. That was crazy.
Impact just kept scoring.
Minnesota, they hang on despite going down a man early in the second half, 1-0.
Minnesota doing really well, actually.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
having a bit of a pickup.
I still hate that they play
still-
on that Minnesota field, and
Defense still the problem, though. Like,
well, it's
following
an-
Inchy around.
It's an
is that-
inchy, yeah, it's an inchy staple, unfortunately.
The Western Conference clash, though, was FC Dallas, LA, and they get their first draw 1-1, or LAFC, I should say.
Yeah.
Sounders up a man for 75 minutes against Crew.
Can't do it.
Still can't
0-0.
score.
Oh, they're having
They
such
are
a
missing Jordan Morris something fierce.
Oh, yeah.
Is it time to hit the panic button in Seattle?
It's getting close, I think. They got to do something. Hey, that's where
that's where
Rooney's
sitting
going.
in the. Do you know where they're sitting in the West currently?
They're at the bottom, aren't they?
They're on.
I don't want to stir up stuff, but if you told me Sounders was going after Rooney, that would actually make sense.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I would go, oh, well, it actually fills a need and it's a name. Just saying. Anyway.
He stays in red if he goes to DC United, though. Right. Oh, but he went back to blue. All right, whatever.
Who gives a what color he's in?
Well, some people do.
No one cares.
My J League team is red. I care.
Does not matter.
When he's playing for
By
DC
the way,
United, and we're watching him here in Orlando City
Your
Stadium.
third kit and every team you like is blue, by the way.
Yeah, but that's how they all are,
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
Or it's
They all
neon
share it.
orange or something
I'm
awful.
just saying, get off your high horse
Speaking of
on
which,
the whole
if
blue
anybody
thing.
finds the Brighton third kit, that black with I have not
it's
been able
beautiful.
to find it anywhere on
It's
any
cool
site.
looking,
If
though.
anybody finds it, please send me the link.
Is that it? Oh, no. Valeri, late free kick. Timbers past the Quakes, 1-0.
Wonderful free kick in this. Goalie probably should have had it, but it just had too much pace on it and real late. And the Portland needed that because that brought them all the way up to 7th. So that was a big win for them.
So that wraps us up.
Oh, hang on. We have scores from tonight. Real quick. Super quick.
Oh, yeah.
Atlanta versus Sporting KC. It's final. Sporting KC 2. Atlanta 0.
Oh.
Coming off of a red card for Guzan and a loss. I like it.
I love it.
That's going to make this weekend chippy.
Oh, boy, is it.
Yeah.
Columbus Crew 1. Philadelphia Union 0.
Union scoreless again.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was the score?
1-0 Columbus over Philly.
Columbus having a quiet good year so far.
Union having a not quite terrible one.
That's yeah.
That's true. Toronto 1. Seattle.
Toronto
FC
Oh, yeah, sorry.
over Seattle Sounders. Or I'm sorry, playing Seattle Sounders. Seattle wins 2-1.
Oh.
Oh,
That's a
no
big one.
kidding. I'm talking. Yeah, maybe it's not time. Who scored for them in Seattle?
Hold on.
I'm curious.
I will tell you.
Oh, on the sleek new MLS app.
Yes. Although it's not slick enough.
He's like, oh, no, that's-
Moving on. We'll answer that later. Chicago zip. Montreal zip in the 87th. LAFC 0. Minnesota United 0 in the 20th.
And that's your MLS, Flight O MLS, which this weekend, we'll talk a little MLS as well, but mostly it will be a Premier League wrap-up.
That'll probably make
We will watch the 10 a.m. matches. Gentlemen, I'm going to go get pies. I'm assuming we want Scottish beef and onion. We
And the
want
Guinness?
chicken curry, the Guinness steak. Do we want a fourth something different we never had? They do weird stuff. Like they've got like the American-style barbecue in a pie.
Try it.
Or like
Let's do it.
we can do something different and weird.
Because they're doing it MLS later on the day. Yeah,
And we have to
MLS.
get a Cornish pasty, right? That's all.
Cornish
it is,
pasties
like-
are good.
Yeah, of course we do.
Guys, these
That's Ron's name on.
yeah.
That's my dancing name.
Boom. I think that wraps us up. So we'll be coming out with another episode fairly quick off the top of this one. Again, today's beer was from 26 Degrees Brewing. It was delicious. Wheat, Hefeweizen. If you want to listen to us, just go to the easiest thing to do. If you already listened to us, you know this already, but just go to the website, www.thebrewtifulgame.com. You can find all the ways to listen to us. Please leave a review for us on Apple Podcasts or called iTunes or now it's Apple Podcasts, whatever. Leave a review or rating on Stitcher. If you do these things, let us know, take a picture of it, screenshot, whatever, drop us an email at thebrewtifulgame at gmail.com or just go to the website and give us a heads up so we can get a koozie out to you.
Untapped.
Follow us on Untapped, as well as on Twitter at Brewtiful Game, as well as on Instagram, as well as on Facebook. I think that covers us all.
That's a lot, man.
All right.
You mentioned All in Sports Talk?
Oh, and of course you can listen to us at All In Sports Talk. Find us there along with several other soccer shows.
Oh my God. What the hell?
All right, gents. You still can't get the app to work?
So right before the show, I was like, I like this new MLS app. Except
yourself.
I clicked on the game to get the stats and all that.
And it
takes me to this page and there's no back button.
Yep.
I can't.
Yeah, Matt, it's still. When you said it, I thought maybe you hadn't played with enough. I didn't want to get
I
it.
The
certainly
lights are not
didn't.
blinking, Clark.
Yeah.
Damn it. MLS, why can't you do anything well? Son of a. I just had such high hopes for the MLS and their tech, and every year they let me down. It's 2018. Why can't you get an app that works? Damn it. Drives me crazy.
God, we just blew through our bleep budget in the end of this episode really fast.
For once, it wasn't me.
Yeah, and it was all Ron. All right, gents.
Fine.
Captain Ron.
Put them up. Love the beer. Cherish the game. The Brewtiful Game. You've been listening to Blake, Ron, and the Dirigible Dingus. Tune in next week.
Fix your MLS. Your pathetic app.
You say, Arsene?
I still can't stop laughing about the Dirigible Dingus.
It's the best. Could you imagine his superhero costume? Just the DD of the chest?
I don't want to imagine it at all.
Yes, you do.
No.
You totally
Maybe.
Okay.